everybody. How are you guys doing? Are you guys excited? Come on, the energy's a little low here. Let's hear you guys. Good morning. Good morning. There we go. How's everybody of the Stevens Initiative here at the Aspen Institute? I'm so excited to have you guys here. Great to see so many smiling faces. How many of you guys know about the Stevens Initiative? Yes, of course. Stevens Initiative is a public-private partnership that's based here at the Aspen Institute. We are supported by the U.S. Department of State with additional contributions by the Bezos Family Foundation and the governments of the UAE and Morocco. Our work is really focused on growing the field of virtual exchange. You guys have been participating in virtual exchange for, 6 months, a year, some of you, and I'm super excited to hear a bit more about your work and your projects. I think what's so powerful and so exciting about virtual exchange is that you all are here in person, but what's been so clear for me and just observing some of the teams that were working this morning is that you guys have already had a bond. And I've heard a little bit from the IREX team, from the folks at IREX, that the dynamics have just been very powerful in the way you all have been collaborating and working on your ideas and your pitches. And I, for one, I know I'm very thrilled to see what you guys have, as is the rest of the Stevens Initiative team. So as we mentioned, our work really exists to boost the field of virtual exchange, and we do that really in 3 distinct ways. One is that we make investments in programs similar to IREX's Global Sustainability Solutions program to have students engage in virtual exchange. Second thing that Stevens Initiative does is we learn a lot about the field and push it out there for more practitioners to learn about how to do good virtual exchange, how to make it better for students. And then lastly, we do a lot of advocacy work around virtual exchange to raise the profile of it, obviously to speak with additional educators and administrators, make sure that this is a solution that they can incorporate into their schools and into their campuses. And then lastly, we try to mobilize additional funding to make sure that more students have the opportunity to do these types of programs. I want to just make a comment that we're in an age where there's so many challenges out in the world, and it's just wonderful to see so many students who are paying attention to issues around sustainability. These are issues that are going to affect all of our communities, and it really, that responsibility falls on all students to take what we learn from these experiences and have that impact back home in your communities. There's going to be no corner of this planet that is untouched by the issues of climate change and sustainability. That's going to affect our communities. It will certainly affect our businesses. It affects our security, and we're all in that together. So I'm very proud, and our team is very proud that you guys are all tackling these particular challenges. So a few quick housekeeping notes. If you guys have a cell phone, which I'm sure many of you guys do, I ask you to silence it just out of respect for everyone who's participating today. If you are going to be on Twitter, we're using 2 hashtags today. So it's hashtag global solutions and hashtag virtual exchange. Haley, did I get that right? I got both of them right? Perfect. I also want to just start off by a couple words of gratitude. First and foremost to our colleagues at the State Department who have generously supported this program, our friends at the Bezos Family Foundation, the Kingdom of Morocco and the UAE. Without their support, these programs wouldn't happen. The second thing is for all the educators who are here. Who are the educators that are in the room that made this happen, and all the coaches? Thank you guys to the teachers who are really making this happen, because you guys have done so much work. I also want to thank the students who are participating. You guys have spent months and months and months on your work. So thank you guys for being willing to take a risk on such an interesting and cool program and putting forward so much effort. I want to thank the judges who are here today, and I think we'll be introducing the judges in a little bit, but we're really appreciative that you guys are here with us. And then I also want to wrap up with the staff here at the Aspen Institute who's making this all happen today. So and the team at IREX, I shouldn't forget. I'm going to conclude my remarks there and introduce Susan Crystal, who's a Deputy Assistant Secretary for Professional Programs at the Bureau of Educational and Cultural Affairs. That's a mouthful, but I think I got it right. Susan, please come to the podium. Thank you. Thank you.
Make sure that I don't touch the screen and make it all go crazy. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much, Mohammed, for the kind introduction. Thank you and the Stevens Institute, the Stevens Initiative team here from the Aspen Institute for everything you've done. To Rebecca Bell, who will be speaking a little bit later from IREX, working on this particular project and global solutions. And certainly also welcome to Omar Masala from the Jordanian Embassy. We have a very strategic partnership between our 2 countries. And I know that many of the citizens of Jordan are participating in our various exchanges, both virtual and in person. So this is my first opportunity to meet with all of you from the Stevens Initiative. I know that our Assistant Secretary Marie Royce went out to Lord Fairfax Community College recently, so those of you who are from that school and the participants from Jordan, that's my boss who came out to see what was going on and came back very excited about what was going on out at your school. As mentioned, this program was created by the State Department and in particular the Stevens family. The Stevens Initiative launched as a living memorial to Ambassador J. Christopher Stevens, who was killed in Beirut, or in Lebanon. And he was a career foreign service officer who was really dedicated to working in this part of the world in the Middle East and North Africa. And I thank you, all of you, for being a tribute to him and his legacy, and really, living that life as you participate in these exchange programs. As mentioned, I work in our Bureau of Educational and Cultural Affairs, and I oversee a wide range of programs for youth, educators. We have sports programs. We have programs in the cultural field. I was talking with a couple of your colleagues here, particularly for those of you in the hospitality industry, and I know many of you are. We've been doing some really interesting work in the culinary diplomacy area. So for those, when you go back to Jordan, and for the Americans here, might be some opportunities to participate in some of those programs. It's certainly a growing area as our American chefs and working on programs where they're going to go overseas and talk about how they're making different fusions of food from wherever they're from, and what kind of food they do here in the United States, and then taking it overseas, and then getting all those new ideas when they come back. Of course, we know that government-to-government contacts are very important. We work with the Jordanian embassy here, other embassies, our embassies overseas, interact with the host country governments, but really the type of program that you're working on is really almost more important, that people-to-people interaction, because it's really those kinds of programs that support civil society, promote socioeconomic empowerment, and establishing trust between our peoples, because the opportunity that I think you've had in the exchange program that you've participated virtually and now in person, you've gotten a taste of another country. And by having those conversations that you've had, working out your projects, ready for your pitches today, you're really having that people-to-people exchange, which is really important. Certainly through virtual exchanges like this program, Global Solutions, the Stevens Initiative has already reached about 25,000 young people worldwide. We'd, of course, love every person in this room around the world to participate in a face-to-face exchange, but we realize that's not always going to be possible. But in you all kind of being here on the ground level of these virtual exchanges, we really encourage you as you finish up and you talk with IREX and you talk with Aspen and you talk to the State Department people both here and at your embassies, tell us what you thought about it. Because it's through the things that you give us and say, oh, if we could only have done this, or because there's going to be other programs like this and ideas that you might have. Certainly exchange programs give opportunities for you young people, sort of a leg up. You're learning different skills. You're getting exposed to different languages, team building, problem solving, technical and vocational training, and really most of all, the deepening of understanding and ability to engage with people. When our Assistant Secretary was heading out to Lord Fairfax, I was reading on your website. Who are the people here from Lord Fairfax? Okay, your group, and the Jordanians too, yes. I was reading on your website an article that you had about the program, and I don't know if the young woman is here, but one of the things that really meant a lot to me is there was a woman participating in the program and said that she was so taken with this opportunity to participate in an international exchange that she said now when she's going to go on to finish her 4-year degree that she's going to go in international education. So I thought that was really impressive. And that's really, in many respects, what we're looking for. We're looking for what you do after this exchange. What you do today, fantastic, the pitch, all of that, really great. But what are you going to take away from this when you go home to your communities, or you work in your communities here in the United States, or go on to other education? What are you going to do next? And I know that one of my colleagues from our alumni office is going to talk with you at some point today, but really to see what you're going to do with this, whether it's in Virginia or Iowa or Jordan or wherever you end up, because we know, the world is your oyster and there's a great opportunity. So what you take away from this is really important, and that's what we're going to be really interested in seeing what happens next. So I hope that through this exchange, you've had an opportunity to get to know people, and how exciting that you all got to meet. I think you said last Thursday that you all got here to Washington, that you've seen what the opportunities are in another country, in another city, and that you really have a better understanding, and take that away and share that with your families, with your colleagues, with your friends, with your teachers. Take this experience, because I know, we hear it all the time, and I never get tired of hearing it, that exchanges change people's lives, and that they really are life-changing. And so you're going to remember this for the rest of your lives, and what you do with it really is important. So I'm excited to hear the pitches and the creative solutions, and look forward to the next part of your program. Thank you so much.
Thank you for those remarks, Susan. Next, I'd like to ask Rebecca Balmaceros to come up. Rebecca is the Associate VP at IREX.
Thanks, Mohammed. Bend this down a little. I'm a little shorter. Hi, good morning. As Mohammed said, I'm Rebecca Balmaceros, Associate Vice President for Education. For those of you who don't know who IREX is, we're a 50-year-old education and development organization. We're headquartered here in Washington, D.C., and we strive toward just, prosperous, and inclusive societies. And I'd really like to thank the Bureau of Educational and Cultural Affairs at the U.S. Department of State and the Aspen Institute. We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for their vision for the Stevens Initiative. So thank you so much for your support. I'd also like to thank my team for their unwavering dedication to the success of Global Solutions. I'm going to call them out because it's a small team. So Sarah Beaver, Ashley Grimes-Boyles, Lindsay Powers, and Lean Kawar, who was able to join us from Jordan. Thank you very much. So we are thrilled to actually see everybody here today, and to especially welcome the students and faculty who, without all of your hard work, this moment would not have happened. And we're really excited to see the results of the Global Solutions Sustainability Challenge. In total, there were 30 faculty facilitators and 315 students from the US and Jordan. So the three teams that are here are representing that group. Their overall goal was to create the best business concept to unlock their community's potential through hospitality and tourism. So all teams investigated the impact of global hospitality and tourism problems in their local communities, collaborated globally, and developed real-life solutions through the creation of sustainable business concepts. I mean, that's pretty cool. I know I wish I could have an opportunity to do that. Sounds a lot more interesting than what I do on a daily basis. But at the end of Global Solutions, we found a couple of things. I wanted to share a couple of these quick statistical facts with you. That is, 80% of the participants had never participated in a virtual exchange prior to the challenge. Over 90% of the participants reported increased confidence in socializing with people from other cultures, which is really important. The majority of participants felt that the challenge was beneficial for their future career. Very important and very interesting. And over 90% of the participants indicated an ability to innovate to solve a problem because of the program. That was an outcome that was not expected. So why does this matter? We all know, and Susan Crystal mentioned this before, and so did Mohammed, there's some skills that everybody needs in order to work in this future in the world. That is, global competence, technology literacy, and problem solving are essential 21st century skills that we all need. Increasingly, employers are looking for staff who have cross-cultural collaboration skills and experience. The world is getting smaller, and so we all need those skills. Hospitality and tourism is a rapidly growing field both in the United States and in Jordan and around the world. Through virtual exchange, this increases access to global opportunities. So, right, not everybody has an opportunity to travel, and the virtual exchange opens access for that. So in the United States, for example, only 3% of students who study abroad are from community colleges. So a program like this gives access to folks maybe who wouldn't have otherwise had that opportunity. So we're really excited about the results and really excited to see the solutions that you all have come up with. And then now I'd like to show a really brief video so that we can all hear directly from the students and faculty. And someone else has to click on that. One moment, please. This is where technology literacy is important. There we go. Thank you.
The Global Solutions Sustainability Challenge is a 10-week virtual collaboration that pairs community college students in the United States with university and college students in Jordan. And these students work together to create a real-world, authentic solution to a sustainability issue in their community around the industries of hospitality. Students are working together with virtual exchange, they're working together in person, they're collaborating, and the curriculum follows design challenge thinking. Test, retest, and build prototypes that are going to really work for their context. Students submit a business plan as well as a video and their prototype to a virtual fair. And then the finalists are invited to come to an in-person summit here in Washington, D.C.
It's kind of challenging here in our region to go to hospitality, especially for females. So I want to try to do something to change that.
When we think about the tourism industry itself, it's the mirror that basically reflects Jordan to the whole world.
I chose to join the challenge because I wanted to make a difference in the world.
I learned how to think with other people, because before that I would have an idea, I would just go and do it alone, but I didn't have the aspect of team play. That really helped me to develop that part of my personality, so that's something that I'm really grateful for.
I learned to overcome all the challenges and to be one team with one dream from two countries.
We will show them that we have great ideas to help the world, and Jordan is a small country and we're going to make it a big country.
I think sustainability is an ongoing discussion in really just about certainly any curriculum discussion, but in business it's ongoing in that we include it in so many areas. I'm excited that my students get to learn from our Jordanian partners, but I'm also excited that our Jordanian partners get to learn from our Iowa students. You know, we have a lot to offer.
This challenge has impacted our students in a positive way. The students are very excited to work with individuals outside of their own country. They have learned so many different cultural differences as well as similarities, but it's also opened their eyes to a lot of the cultural aspects, and it has broken down a lot.
Okay. So first was the example of technology literacy, and now we're giving an example of problem solving, which is that we're going to show the video a little bit later. So on that note, and we will show it because it's a really great video, and some of you actually in the audience are in the video, I see. So we'll show that in just a moment. Right now, I'd like to welcome my colleague, Ashley Grimes-Boyles, who's going to introduce the teams and kick off the summit piece here today. Ashley.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for the introduction, Rebecca. So, as Rebecca had mentioned, my name is Ashley Grimes-Boyles. I'm a Senior Program Officer at IREX and a member of the Global Solutions team. I'm very excited about being here and sharing the enthusiasm with the students for the journey that they've been on to be here today. They have collaborated over a 10-week virtual exchange through a very rigorous curriculum, and that involved a very intense innovation competition that supports workforce development in the U.S. and Jordan. So it's a big deal that everyone's here today, and a lot of work went into the products that they're putting forward. So I'd like to take a moment before we launch the binational business pitch competition, to recognize each of the teams and their dedication to investing their talent to creating innovative solutions to complex global issues impacting the hospitality and sustainability and tourism industries. So to get started, would the student participants of the team Agents of Change, composed of students from Horizmi College and Lord Fairfax Community College, please stand? Oh no, just stand. Yeah, thank you. Great. Go ahead and sit down. Thank you so much. And then would the students from the team Rangers please stand so we can recognize you? These are members of Luminous Technical University College and Kirkwood Community College. Thank you very much. You may sit. And then finally, would the team participants of Triple R please stand? This team is composed of students from Luminous Technical College and Kirkwood Community College. Thank you very much. You may sit. And now finally, and I know Mohammed also mentioned this as well, but you can't get very far without the educators and the facilitators to guide these students on their journey. So I'd like to recognize all the facilitators. May you please stand. Thank you. So overall, this Global Solutions Summit will include a business pitch competition, a student director panel, a networking lunch, and a results announcement. For the pitch competition, we will invite members of each team to be on the stage for a 10-minute presentation about their sustainable business concept. They will be scored by our stellar panel of judges. Our judges include Greg Gershoni, the Interim Director in Energy and Environment Program at the Aspen Institute, Jane Meacham, of the Editorial Corporate Sustainability Specialist, that's independent, and Sonia Zamborski, Director of the Global Product Field Support and Communications Department of Marriott Digital. Thank you very much for being here. After each presentation, a brief 5-minute question and answer session will occur between the teams and the judges. So now let's get started. It's my pleasure to welcome to the stage the Agents of Change to present their sustainable business concept, BottleBot. And this is to guide the presentations.
Good day, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, we are Agents of Change, and this is the BottleBot.
My name is Burhan Sitiye. I'm 24 years old.
I'm Rachel. I'm the director and the manager on the U.S. side.
My name is Robert Wallace, and I'm the director on the U.S. side.
Sausan Fowri. I'm the manager in the Jordanian part. Our team is from Khawarizmi University Technological College in Jordan, studying engineering, business, and translation, and Lord Fairfax Community College in Virginia, which are studying computer science and chemistry. We are Agents of Change.
Have you ever been at a tourist attraction and noticed there's trash everywhere, in particular plastic bottles? Every minute, roughly 1 million plastic single-use bottles are produced worldwide. As a result of not recycling these bottles, roughly 5 to 13 tons of plastic waste is emptied into the oceans every year. As a result, we're increasingly having more plastic in our oceans than in marine wildlife. In addition, seabirds and marine animals are consuming plastic, which we in turn consume. Has anybody eaten fish anytime in the last week? Anybody? I think all of our participants definitely have. You should just be aware that you have most likely eaten microplastic, and this is an issue that we all need to address.
The solution is BottleBot, which is a machine will either melt or shred a single-use plastic bottle. The BottleBot will be flexible to be put in any place. It's modified and adaptive machine that is able to be modified for a location based on its needs, and it's easily can be moved.
We have Facebook pages established to promote the BottleBot and educate on the dangers of single-use plastic bottle waste. These pages are just our initial advertisement channels, and we are actively working on our other advertisement channels. Through these pages, target customers can access the application that works with BottleBot. The application will soon be available in the app stores and compatible with all devices.
So this is the flow chart of the application that we've developed for the BottleBot to work in conjunction with the machine. Through this application, our target customers can accrue points that can then be used to attain rewards from either our sponsors or get a cashback reward. The incentive for the sponsors to couple with us is twofold. On one hand, they get a new vein of advertisement, and then on the other hand, they can also get potential new customers through this.
We used a mixed-based business model. We used the traditional production-based business model in which income is received through the sale of BottleBot. We used an advertising business model in which green and pollution organizations can advertise on our sites and pay us on a cost-per-clicks basis. And the businesses hosting the BottleBot will follow a subscription model in which they only pay for the software once. Our target audience is any community or its members that want a cleaner environment for visitors. This goal has led to our binational business mission statement of give back, get back.
We conducted market research in Jordan. We found that most people do not know about recycling at all. In the United States, we found that younger people are more likely to use single-use plastic bottle at work or school.
In the short term, what we would like to do is get revenue so that we can build active prototypes, working prototypes that we can run as a pilot program both here in the United States as well as in Jordan. In the long term, what we want to do is really proliferate the BottleBot throughout the world in every country so we can drastically reduce the amount of plastic waste that goes into the environment and isn't recycled.
Based off expert interviews related to the areas covered in our machine, these are the fixed costs that we came up with. And the variable costs that we came up with include things such as maintenance, design software, and the collection of plastic. As you can see, with our mixed-based business model and adaptive design, and we have created a solution that works globally. With BottleBot, we will improve our global environment by reducing the plastic, and we will educate the dangers of plastic waste. This will also provide new jobs in manufacturing, software design, and the maintenance of our machine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry.
So now we're going to have some time for questions and answers from our judges.
That was a great presentation. Ooh, is this on? Can you show us a little bit more about how the mechanism actually works?
Yeah, sure.
So the legs got broken. so, so the bottles will like we put them inside the machine. Okay, there will be like rollers here to crush the bottle. Okay, and then like if it was like inside malls or stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. You see, but like it's not like fully like it should be. See, and if it was like inside of malls, it will work on electricity, and it will be shredded. If it was outside, it will be working on the solar panels, and there will be like a melting method to make it melt, to put it on containers till it's filled. Yeah, and when the user use it, okay, every time he use it, he will get 1 point till he get the 13 point, and every 30 points, he will get a reward to encourage them to use it as an incentives. Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Would this be adaptable to a larger institution like a hotel or a university that had a really heavy, large volume of plastic bottles?
Yeah, it will. Yeah, and you can.
Yeah, the concept honestly is the adaptability of the machine. In part, we do have competitors that already have machines that recycle things. I think typically it's just for a cash return, and it's usually just in supermarkets. They're very large machines, so they aren't transportable. The concept really is the adaptability of the machine. We want it to be able to work in a multitude of markets, and particularly if you put it in one location, it's working for a while, but then suddenly people aren't using it, but you see that there's a need for it 2 blocks up the road. You can move it. Obviously, you don't want it to be able to just be picked up so somebody can take it and, I don't know, scrap the parts, but with minimal effort, you should be able to move it from one location to another. But you should also obviously be able to have different sizes for the machine.
Do you also envision, I guess, in additional places, in addition to hotels, like apartment buildings or individuals' homes, or is it more for like malls and places like that?
So we were envisioning like the apartment buildings and in homes, because we also are thinking it can be an incentive in the homes, especially since more homes are becoming multi-generational, and some generations want to recycle and some don't, and those that do are trying to teach those that don't. So it will help them in that process too. So we are kind of thinking it to be in homes and in individual apartments, and that's where the smaller sizes of them will come in play.
And what happens to the, I guess, the shredded or the melted waste?
Okay, well, we contact and make contracts with the factories. So whenever it's full, they can like come and pick it up and pay for it. It will be easier for them to recycle stuff that already are like collected, because like when we went to the factories, it's expensive for them to send out people or like the employees to collect it, then recycle it. So it will be already collected, and then they're gonna recycle it. Yeah.
Thank you. Any more questions, judges? No?
Thank you.
Well, a round of applause, please, for Agents of Change.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Be careful with that, Rami. Okay. Wonderful. Now it is my pleasure to welcome to the stage the Team Rangers to present their sustainable business concept, Sustainable Water Solutions.
Is it on? Can I check? No?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are
Rangers.
And we present to you today our sustainable water solution. We are from Kickworld Alumnus College.
We at Rangers Sustainable Water Solutions make sure that water is the focus of everything we do. Through the different products, we want to show our customers that reducing water waste and recycling gray water for reuse is both easy and affordable. Through the engagement of the community and the consumers, we aim to establish ourselves in the market.
So, sorry. So the problem. All right. So picture this. You're checking into a hotel room, getting settled in after a long, very tiring flight. What is the first thing you do? You take a shower, right? So we all know that water is an extremely valuable resource. But did you know only 2% of all water on the whole earth is even drinkable? As a binational team, when we were initially brainstorming, we all realized water waste is a huge problem in both Jordan and the United States of America. So we wanted to create a solution that would help reduce this waste. We found that when we stay in hotels, we consume more water than we do in our homes. And the amount of water we consume is about 200 liters per day in each room. That's about 50 gallons. And annually, we consume is 5 million liters of water. That's a lot of water. Go for the solution. We have 2 solutions, not 1, 2 products, that help reduce water waste. The first is the gray water system. This is a system that will be utilized in larger hotels, which is the one on the left. In larger hotels that are new construction or in the development phase. The second is the trolley. This is a car that is great for event centers and restaurants that wouldn't be able to utilize the gray water system.
The hospitality industry is growing at a rate of 3% annually, with more than 187,000 hotels worldwide and over 1 million restaurants in the US alone. We would like both our systems to be in 2% of the new hotels and restaurants by the end of our first fiscal year. That's 110 hotels and 600 restaurants. We know that this is feasible because the cost of our systems is minimal compared to the savings. Raw materials for the gray water system would be about $30,000, and the labor to install the system would be about $250,000. Now, this may seem like a high number up front, but really it's not that much more than a general construction cost for a hotel. The savings, which we will get into here in a minute, show that the hotels using the gray water system could save around $224,000 a year. The return on investment for this would be just a short 15 months. And the trolley, which is estimated to cost only $275, of course, would have a much quicker return on investment. We are looking for a large corporation like Marriott to invest in our solutions. A partnership such as this would help them achieve their sustainability goals and provide a large backing of more than 30+ brands for us. Now Tammy will talk more about the gray water system.
Our gray water system collects water from sinks and showers and diverts it into a separate piping system. Each level has a pipe running all the way along the floor and ultimately converging with this vertical common pipe, which funnels the water down to the filtration system located in the basement at high speed due to gravitational pull. As the water flows from the floor pipe into the descending pipe, the screen filter, which is the circle there, catches hair and large particles. Water from laundry drains is also directed to the filtration system. The common pipe feeds into the holding tank, which is the orange one here, and then passes through both white tanks, which are the filtration tanks. They are equipped with granular activated carbon filters. After they go through the filtration process, the water is safe to channel back into the hotel for use in laundry and lawn care.
So as you could see from that short little clip, that is our prototype in action. This is a turbine located inside of one of the pipes that would be coming down vertically. So for all of the piping that would run along the length of the hotel floors and in the rooms, it would have an estimated cost of $17,000. Our holding tanks are equipped to hold a day's worth of water, and each filtration tank will hold about a half day's worth of water for an estimated cost of $8,500. Some additional costs that may occur are water pumps may be needed to take that filtered water to the laundry and for the lawn care. Our granulated activated carbon filtration system is a very commonly used system and is fairly inexpensive. However, the prices of it may vary dependent on the location of the hotel. And the turbines cost $2,000 each, approximately, and dependent on the size of the hotel, height may vary the number of turbines that the hotel would like to place. We know one hotel room uses 200 liters of water daily. Our gray water system recycles 117 of those 200 liters. In a hotel with 100 rooms, this could equal a savings of nearly 3 million liters of water a year. And that's, again, $224,000 annually. This does not include, of course, the additional energy savings generated by the turbines that are inside of the pipes. And now Laith will talk about our trolley system.
So this is our trolley. So we collect water inside the event center from the plastic water bottles and the guest water glasses, and we collect it all and we pour it in the holding tank. There's the gravity do all the magic. So the turbines, so it's turn on the turbines and we generate the energy and it's saved in the battery. So in that process, on the screen on top, they will tell you how many quantity of liters you save and how many dollars you save also. So like my partner says, it will cost you like $275, which is very low investment, and he will give you a very high impact.
Contributors to our business survey were the W Hotel and Crown Plaza in Jordan and the hotel at Kirkwood Center in Iowa. We also consulted with Rick Foss, who is the civil engineering professor at the University of Iowa, and Shahed Ahmed, who is the mechanical engineer at Luminous College. Their feedback told us that our products were both were innovative, feasible, and had the potential to reduce water waste as well as cost for companies who invest in our products. Through our consumer survey, our friends and family, as well as hotel guests, offered feedback about whether or how important going green is to them. Their feedback told us that they would look for a hotel employing green practices, such as our gray water and trolley systems.
Through our experience as a binational team, we worked virtually on this cross-cultural solution. We learned about patience, clear and concise communication, leadership, and most importantly, cooperation. Please help us achieve our goal by turning this innovation into reality. We at Rangers Sustainable Water Solutions strive to teach our friends, communities, and future generations about the importance of sustainable water practices by showing that it is economical, easy, and fun. Thank you. I'm Cassandra, and I'm our co-director.
I am Laith Abdallah and خبير التكنولوجيا.
رائد الأدهى أنا مسجل.
Price, co-manager.
عبد الرحمن مراغة المسوق.
Thank you.
Now we'd like to open it up for questions from the judges.
I have a question about the trolley. I'm not sure where the wastewater would go if we were in a ballroom of a hotel, perhaps. Where's the red pipe connecting?
It's one of the line out, so there's an employee came and take all the water from inside of it, and he like go to like put it in the grounds in the mop, and he cleaned the floor with it.
So there's a hose connected to that line out, and it can be turned on or off. So it can be used to wheel the cart around and water plants around the facility in a banquet area, for example.
Is it possible to retrofit existing hotels with the system, or is this did you design it specifically for new building hotels?
In the future, we would like to implement them into existing hotels as well. But as a starting point, just because it's an easier process, we'd like to look for investors who are building hotels and are in the development stage.
You actually took my question.
Oh, sorry.
Tell me a little bit more about your marketing plans for how to. You mentioned you've spoken to hotel folks, but in terms of marketing the product, what are your plans for that?
So of course, yeah, we do want to speak with hotels that are looking to develop. We would also like to talk with other leaders in the industry, in particular people who are interested in sustainability practices, to help us implement these into hotels. Yeah.
And I guess kind of along the same line, are there, so you mentioned kind of laundry and lawn uses. Are there other uses that you could foresee for the water, or kind of creating a pipe system beyond the hotel where other businesses in the area could use that water?
That's a fantastic idea. We had, of course, focused on using it on our own facility, but if additional pipes were added, I'm sure it could certainly expand to other area businesses.
Would it be up to the hotels or facilities that install this to disclose to their customers how the water was being used? I can foresee possibly a little pushback from some customers.
Yes, absolutely, it would be. That was one of the things in our surveys that people would want to know more about, even what gray water means, and if by going through these specific filters, if it truly would be clean enough, even for just lawn care and laundry. And so I suppose then the hotel would have that information on hand if they needed more in-depth explanations.
Yeah, I was actually thinking the flip side of that, which is maybe is if there was some kind of like logo on the hotel that says, we recycle this water, and that more people would want to stay there because of that.
Yeah, our vision had kind of been, you all see the green cards in the bathrooms, and that maybe somewhere on there it would mention about our green practices, or in your confirmation email that you get from your hotel, that it would state that in there as well.
Let's give another round of applause to the Team Rangers. Thank you so much for your questions as well, judges. Thank you. Oops. There we go. All right. Great job. Now we'd like to welcome to the stage Team Triple R to present their sustainable business concept, the Green Vacation Location. Here, Matt. This is the clicker.
Oh, hey, Matt. How are you?
Good. How are you?
How was your stay
Yeah,
at the
it was
location?
awesome. It was awesome. I enjoyed it. I really learned a lot. I stayed at the Green Vacation location.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah.
I'm going to check out. All right. Can I check out?
Of course you can.
Thanks. Hey, do you have a garbage anywhere?
Yeah, it's there.
Okay.
What are you doing?
What was that about?
At the Green Vacation location, I can take that there and recycle for reward points.
Oh, what's the Green Vacation location?
Well, let me tell you about it.
Okay.
So we are Team Triple R, and we are here to tell you about the Green Vacation location.
Test. I always wanted to try this thing. Okay, then. As we take you on a journey throughout our project, we're going to be presenting the following. Who is Triple R? What the Green Vacation location is, and product and services, and who are our targeted customers, and we're going to show you our prototype. In addition to, we'll be showing you our concept and vision. And following that, the marketing techniques and all about project expenses, and we'll be wrapping up. So we are a joint partnership. Students from students who studies hotel management and business management from community colleges in Jordan and the U.S. teams. Okay. So our aim is to affect changing in the hospitality's field by creating a sustainable touristic location in our respective community.
So now that you know who we are, we wanted to tell you about our problem. Through our virtual exchange, we found that our problem in most of our communities is a lack of knowledge about what we have to offer to tourists and the lack of attraction of tourists in general. 8 to 10% of the global GDP is in the tourism and hospitality fields, so our market is quite large, so we wanted to be able to hit in that market. With that being said, we noticed that there was an inefficiency in the uses of energy and resources in the hospitality and tourism fields, and we felt the need to address that issue. We have found a way to fix this issue and also start up our own company by doing so.
So Green Vacation Location is a eco-friendly vacation location built from forecasted houses. It's a place of education of positive environmental impact. It's constructed with high quality recycled materials, furnished with recycled materials, and active in community development. Yeah, development.
So you know what GVL is. A GVL is all of those things. So let me tell you about your location. We started from the top down. We built these properties on recycled properties. Like she said, it's from foreclosed homes. So we'll be renovating these properties and not having to start fresh. So that upfront will save us some costs and give us an opportunity to cause change in our communities, both in Iowa and in Jordan. We installed these with high efficiency features that follow. Like I said, we started top down. We start with white shingles to be able to reflect away heat and not absorb so much heat, so our costs to heat and cool our facilities should be going down. With that, we will also be installing solar panels on the roofs, which will cover at least 50% of our electrical costs, covering the whole roof. We'll also be installing LED lighting, which is much more energy efficient, and along with that, using as much natural light as possible. As you can see in this facility, they've done the same thing, and it helps in decreasing your costs, and then it also is aesthetically pleasing. Along with that, we have the reusable candles. Some of you may not have seen, but they have a new product where you can actually use candles, and it will funnel the wax down into a new cylinder, and you can flip the candle and reuse it. So with that being said, we can reuse those candles and cut costs, use it as an extra heating source, again, more aesthetically pleasing, and also for light. We'll have insulated pipes, which will reduce condensation and allow us to eliminate waste. We have a second-story water heater that will allow gravity to take charge and, again, increase our efficiency and decrease our usage. Along with that being said, the water heater will be on a constant cycle. We actually looked at things that Marriott and other competitors of ours will be doing, and they do the similar things with the water cycling through. So when you turn on your faucet, you're not waiting on the wait time for the water to preheat and be used. So your hot water is readily available. And finally, with the insulation, we will have floor insulation as well as gypsum board insulation, which alleviates space and allows us to better and more efficiently heat and cool our facilities at a cost-efficient rate.
So we're targeting ages between 18 to 30 years. We're middle class, environmental conscious, college educated, and business professionals and active lifestyles.
The reason for these is typically 18 to 30-year-old people are a bit more environmentally conscious. The middle class and the college-educated business professionals will have the disposable income that it takes to stay at our facilities, and the active lifestyle with an increased desire to be educated and seek new knowledge that we help to provide for our customers. Our customers will be coming from local residents, people that are looking to make better environmental choices, and also be educated on how to do so in their own lives. Our tourists will be coming to gain an inside perspective on what our communities have to offer, which we will be linking and marketing with companies around our communities to be able to educate people on what we have to offer in both Jordan and in Iowa.
And we're going to be watching a video for our prototype. Please enjoy that.
So as you can see from our prototype video, our concept and vision is to revolutionize negative environmental impact that's being made by the hospitality and tourism industries, while educating our guests in ways that they can also make changes in their own communities. Reducing the energy and waste that negatively affects our environment is going to be a big piece of this. And again, as you see in the video, there's so many different ways, from the sheets on the beds to the mirrors that we hang on the wall to the boards that we use and the lighting that we've installed. We can aid our local economy by increasing cash flow throughout the community with the marketing efforts that we make, as well as increasing jobs by creating jobs through these GVL locations. According to ResearchGate.net, in the hospitality and tourism industry, 1.15 jobs are generated per room that you provide. The average GVL location will provide 3 rooms, so we'll have 3.45 rooms available, or 3.45 jobs created per location. And now our marketing. Again, with wanting to alleviate our costs and bring that down as much as possible, we're going to utilize our marketing mostly from social media through sources like Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube, and Facebook. Our community outreach will include company podcasts, brochures, YouTube channels, e-newsletters, and again, our tourism offices and travel agencies. Online review websites are going to be huge for us. In starting this up and being a new company, we will be big to get our customer reviews and be able to adjust accordingly to what the market is asking for. So we'll be using things like Trivago, Expedia, Booking.com, and TripAdvisor. Word of mouth will also be a big part for us, getting our name out there and spreading awareness of what we're doing and the education that we're providing for people. The projected expenses, the biggest expense that we're going to face is through the remodel. Our permits, supplies, and labor are all brought to us by HomeAdvisor.com, which estimates the average remodel of a home at $20,000 to $30,000. Also, along with our updated industrial appliances that we'll be using to cut costs and provide the best appliances possible.
And there will always be our recycled furniture in addition to this solar panels, which be on a budget of 25,000 till 30,000. Yeah, 30,000.
We'll be using recycled linens as well, which we'll be getting from suppliers, as well as green cleaning supplies, and then staffing as needed. But up front, we would be the ones who would be running our facilities.
Yes.
Minimal advertising costs, like I talked about before, utilizing technology and social media. And then finally, our rewards program is an expense because we realize that offering extras to people will cost us upfront.
And you'll get one free night after like staying 5 nights in our GVL, and there will be other also rewards.
So in conclusion, we just wanted to highlight the fact that we've really thought about both Jordan and Iowa and the problems that we face and how we can fix those problems together with one solution. Our ideas are feasible. We have rapid community development. We're very innovative with it. Job creation in our communities to inspire other businesses to come to our communities because not everyone tends to vacation in Iowa or in Jordan. And that's it. Thank you.
Great job. All right, Judge.
Talk about the process for booking a room and like when someone shows up, how do they check in? Like, what's that?
Yeah, so booking a room, we will have an app, and that would be part of our marketing as well. So using the application will be huge for us so that people can book online or from wherever they're coming from. And then as far as checking in, you'll check in at a front desk. The business model that we most directly compare to is like a B&B. So you're getting more of that home feel, and then we're able to really tell what our community has to offer because everyone knows Florida and Hawaii, but Iowa is not always the same.
And along, I just want to add to that as well. We do have the community involved in kind of guiding around the tourist areas that we do have in that location. And so they'll be provided a person of contact once they're there to kind of give them a tour and show them what is recycled and everything at the location.
Would most of your facilities be in residential areas if they're renovated homes?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
The hope is, I'm sorry. The hope is to promote growth in our communities, and that's why we were seeking foreclosed homes, so we can revamp communities.
Yeah, it's a very interesting concept. I wonder, though, if there might be some zoning issues.
Yes.
What would your ideal customer look like? I mean, is it someone who's coming to kind of check out the neighborhood and see if they wanted to move there, or someone who's coming to do work in the area?
Really, we're suited for anybody. I mean, if you're coming to work in the area, our rewards program really is beneficial, especially, I mean, we know that business people tend to travel more. So that's why we've incorporated that rewards program where you're able to stay 5 nights and get your 6th night free with us. Other parts of the rewards program that were kind of hit on with our skit at the beginning, it was the recycling of the products. So when you recycle your products, when you go to check out, we will actually weigh out your products and give you bonus points based on the weight of your recycled products while you stayed with us. So that's where the skit really came in there. And it was just a unique way of encouraging people to recycle and then reward them for doing so. Thank you, guys.
Another round of applause.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you again for your questions. All right, now it is my pleasure to introduce, oh no. Maybe turn them off. There we go. It is my pleasure to introduce the IREX technical advisor, Sarah Beaver. She is the actual architect of the program and the person that designed the curriculum that guided the students throughout the whole virtual exchange. She is going to reintroduce the video as well as launch our student directors panel. But at this time, I'd like to excuse the judges. They have some time to deliberate over those wonderful presentations. Thank you, judges. And my pleasure once again to welcome Sarah Beaver.
All right, let's give another big round of applause for his students. They've been working so hard, and that was amazing. So as Ashley said, we're going to try the video again, and we just want to celebrate all the hard work that the students and teachers have been doing, and the video just really gives us an insight into their experience and into their collaboration, and so let's celebrate it and let's try it again. The Global Solutions Sustainability Challenge is a 10-week virtual collaboration that pairs community college students in the United States with university and college students in Jordan. And these students work together to create a real-world, authentic solution to a sustainability issue in their community around the industries of hospitality. Students are working together with virtual exchange, they're working together in person, they're collaborating, and the curriculum follows design challenge thinking. Test, retest, and build prototypes that are going to really work for their context. Students submit a business plan as well as a video and their prototype to a virtual fair. And then the finalists are invited to come to an in-person summit here in Washington, D.C.
It's kind of challenging here in our region to go to hospitality, especially for females. So I want to try to do something to change that.
When we think about the tourism industry itself, it's the mirror that basically reflects Jordan to the whole world.
I chose to join the challenge because I wanted to make a difference in the world.
I learned how to think with other people, because before that I would have an idea, I would just go and do it alone, but I didn't have the aspect of team play. That really helped me to develop that part of my personality, so that's something that I'm really grateful for.
I learned to overcome all the challenges and to be one team with one dream from two countries.
We will show them that we have great ideas to help the world, and Jordan is a small country and we're going to make it a big country.
I think sustainability is an ongoing discussion in really just about certainly any curriculum discussion, but in business it's ongoing in that we include it in so many areas. I'm excited that my students get to learn from our Jordanian partners, but I'm also excited that our Jordanian partners get to learn from our Iowa students. You know, we have a lot to offer.
This challenge has impacted our students in a positive way. The students are very excited to work with individuals outside of their own country. They have learned so many different cultural differences as well as similarities, but it's also opened their eyes to a lot of the cultural aspects, and it has broken down a lot of communication barriers.
I was excited to join this challenge because I love learning about different cultures and meeting new people.
I was excited to start the challenge because I came into this major for travel and tourism, and since we're promoting travel and tourism, I think that would be a great stepping stone for me for my career.
This program is very important because it just teaches students about the culture and the backgrounds of where many people come from. I feel like the Global Solutions definitely will prepare me for a job of working with different cultures, and it just helped me gain a little bit more patience and I could say a better sense of way of communicating with people.
IREX strives to extend access to quality education, engage and empower youth, cultivate leaders, and strengthen institutions. By targeting community colleges, we are reaching students that might not otherwise experience an in-person exchange. The virtual exchange model allows for this low-cost, unique, and meaningful experience that strengthens cultural literacy.
invite our student directors who are going to be part of our panel up to the stage. Hi, everyone. By everyone, I mean the three of you here on stage. So thank you so much for all your hard work. I'd like to give a special shout out to our student directors. So here we have three of our student directors. The way that the teams worked is that each team had a director from Jordan and the US. So I'd like to ask for the directors who aren't on stage to stand up so that they can be recognized. Excellent, thank you. Thank you. Wonderful. So as we all know, Global Solutions was a pilot program. It was a challenge. It was exciting. It was a lot. And you guys, as the directors, did such an amazing job of leading your colleagues and your classmates through this opportunity. And so before we get started, could you all actually introduce yourselves and tell us what school you're from and what state or city?
I'm Cassandra Pantel, and I am a hotel management major at Kirkwood Community College in Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
I'm Sarah Abid. I'm from Luminous Technical University College from Jordan, Amman.
I'm Burhan Stitiye, 24 years old, from Jordan, Amman, study in Cosmicology Translation.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So let's get into the questions. First question is for you, Cassandra. And can you tell us what was it like co-leading a binational team? And was it like anything you'd done before?
You know, it hadn't been like anything I'd done before. I've never participated in any other exchanges besides this one, but it really wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. There was definitely some communication struggles, just time zone differences and technology problems. But in the end, we made it work out, whether we use synchronous or asynchronous communication. And it just made it all the sweeter when we were able to meet finally in person.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And so, Erhan, can you tell Burhan? Sorry, can you tell us some about what was it like when you did meet in person?
Well, before we meet, like I will start like just a little bit in the backward. When we first got to work with each other, like it was really hard to communicate, especially that it's a different languages, different culture, you know. But with time, it was more than just work or a program. Like we became real friends. So when we got to meet and like get to know them really well, like I really like, for example, I really love, for example, Robert. He became just one of my best friends. He's like an amazing. All of them are amazing. Like the behavior, the attitude, the patience. Like it was really thrilling and interesting experience for us. Yes.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And Sarah, can you tell us what was one of the biggest things that you learned on the program?
Actually, there were a lot of stuff to be learned in this program, but the main important thing for me was about the business planning, because it really helps you to go, like, if you want to open your own business and stuff, it just puts you on the right path, and you can just complete with that.
Great. Thank you. And Cassandra, could you explain some more about the business planning process? So some more details of what that process was like for you all?
Yeah, you know, it was pretty well laid out thanks to the IREX curriculum that you gave us. But once our team finally brainstormed and developed our idea, it was a difficult process, but it was one that was well worth it. We put a lot of work into the research, and then once we had all of the information we needed, it was pretty easy just to lay it all out there.
Great, thank you. And let's see, next question for Sarah. Can you tell us some more about the specific skills that you developed?
Actually, we can talk about problem solving, and since my next step is to study accounting and stuff, so putting budgets and talking all about expenses and all of this, it really helped me a lot. So yeah, that was a great thing.
And Burhan, can you tell us some about what you learned about the United States that you didn't know before?
Well, there is a lot of stuff like about the history. Like I never knew that there is stuff. It's not just about the United States or like America. Like there is a lot of different cultures in America. Okay, and I never knew like the youth would be this humble, because from movies like you get to know like they are ego, so it was like surprising like how humble and generous they are, so it was interested in a surprising way. Yes.
Great, we're happy to hear that. And what about you, Cassandra? How about what did you learn about students in Jordan?
I really just learned that they're just like us, and that it doesn't matter whether you're here in the United States or Jordan, halfway across the world, all of us are pretty much the same, and that's really great.
Excellent. That's a really nice place for us to stop as well. Nice closing thought. So I'd like to open it up if anybody from the audience has any questions that they'd like to ask the students. Yes, Ms. Grimes?
Can you tell me a little bit about what it was like collaborating virtually and then having the chance to meet each other in person, and what the dynamics and differences were between those experiences?
Okay. So, like for example, in the end of the program, before we meet in the virtual, okay, when we really got to know each other, like I found out that, for example, he loved to cook, and there is a lot of stuff like we look alike about it. And when we got to meet, before we got to meet, we decided that we gotta cook together and we gotta do this kind of stuff together. So when we met and started to do this kind of stuff, like it was like how when you watch a movie and then you feel that you are living in that movie, that like it was like that, so it was really fun to do. Yeah. Yes.
I'd like to add to that. Like I talked on communication, and we struggled with that some. I found out that Dina is super sarcastic, and I would have never known that via our conversations in WhatsApp and on Facebook and stuff. So getting to meet her and all the rest of our team in person has been a fantastic experience, and I really am so humbled that we've been able to have this opportunity.
One more thing. I really wanted to thank my team, my US team, because I was a little bit nervous before this whole thing pitching, and they were like really like a family to me. They're like, you can do that and everything. So I really would like to thank you guys, everyone.
Hi, this is Abby from IREX. I was wondering if you could explain a little more about how you came up with the ideas for your projects.
So in the IREX curriculum, it lays it out kind of step by step, and there's a phase called brainstorming. And in some of the pictures that they'd shown, you'd seen us using whiteboards, and that was a lot of that brainstorming phase. We just thought about what problems are facing our communities, and then went from there and narrowed down those decisions, and then thought, how can we solve those problems? And so then as a team, after both separately brainstorming, we came together on a big brainstorming session and narrowed down what specifically we wanted to work on.
Let me say, well, most of the good ideas that we came up with, it was while we were eating. So like food was something really important to us. Like every idea that when we were serious about it, no, it wouldn't work until we were at a restaurant and saw a lot of bottles and plastic and stuff like that, and it came. That's like how it started. Yeah.
Two quick questions for you guys. First of all, I'm curious. First, thank you guys for being up here and participating. My first question is, how do you think this is going to impact your career? Is the first part of the question. The second part of the question is, how do you see yourselves being an agent for change in your community now that the program is concluding?
Okay, so for your first question, I think this would be a great thing for my career. Like standing here doing this pitch, it really turns a great into my personality. You know, contacting with a totally different language, totally different cultures. That really like taught us a lot of stuff. So I think that would be like easier to me when I start like my career and stuff. So that would be great to me. Like it's a great opportunity that I'm really thankful for.
Well, for me, like I used to think that not that I am a stubborn, but before I decide something, I think a lot. So most likely, I think that I am right because I think a lot about it. But I learned like there is assumptions that you gotta take from others and gotta accept it. Like you don't like it's not just like you are. Coming down from the sky or something. So sometimes you can be wrong. So you gotta accept the other opinions. Yeah.
I really do think that it'll help enhance my career opportunities. This program taught a lot of leadership skills, not just for us directors, but in all the positions. And that's a very beneficial skill for all of us college students moving forward. And then do you mind repeating what your second question was again, Mo?
So second question is really, how do you think, now that the program is concluding, how do you plan to have impact in your local communities?
Actually, maybe when we very started this, we didn't know a lot of environmental stuff, all about these things, but we really started to do researches. Like maybe some of us were not like really caring about this, but when you go into this, you like it's something good for you and for everybody. So you should work on this. We started knowing a lot of stuff, doing researches and those stuff. So I think that's a great impact on our environment and community and whatever.
So before I participate in this program, like I don't really watch news or stuff like that. Like I try to change, but in my own way. So I get to learn a lot about the plastic and recycling. Like we went to factories and manufacturing, and it was like, wow, like oh, okay, that's a lot to take. Like you never knew that there is something like that even exists. So we throw a celebration because the idea that we made after the first phase, okay, even most people came to have fun, but we made like if you want to enter, you gotta bring 3 water bottles, and people were like, why? Are you for real? Like usually you pay money, like why 3 water bottles? So when we got in and we explained it to them, like we affected a lot of people, like we opened a lot of minds. So it was really nice to do such thing, and hopefully that we will like do it for real, like do even like whether we won or lose, like we decided that we're gonna take it and we're gonna make it. Yes.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Marcy Hubbard. I'm with Marriott International, and I'm super impressed and just so grateful to be sitting here listening to you all. I've been in hotels for almost 20 years now, and everyone I've always come across, they're passionate, and you either love it or you don't. And if you don't, you get out. I'm just curious, what is driving your passion to be a part of the hospitality industry? And after being a part of this exchange, do you anticipate sustainability being somewhat part of that?
I would definitely love to answer that as the hospitality student up here. I've been in the hospitality industry for about 5 years now and had never really considered much more than just your typical recycling. And after going through this program, I definitely will look for jobs that apply green policies and implement new and innovative ideas.
Well, go? Should I go? Okay, so okay. Well, for me, it's not, even though like I'm not in hospitality specialty, like I study translation, but still it's opportunity to keep meeting new people, and that's something I really love, and keep hearing and trying to practice another languages because I'm into languages. I'm learning Spanish and stuff like that, so it's a opportunity for me to keep practicing my languages and keep meeting other people. That's why.
I think I'm just gonna add a little bit for what they said because they said a lot of great things. Why we really would like this path or this industry because it really we gain impact on our country. You know, we if we work in a good way in our touristic places, we will tell others about our country and stuff, and that would be like really great for us, and we'd love to do that.
Hi, my name is Ariel. I'm a student. I was part of the Global Solution. I'm from Nova Campus of Virginia. What kind of advices could you give to the students who are not participating because they are kind of shy? One question. And the second will be, would like to expand this IREX or the Global Solution be expanded to another campus, not just to hospitality?
Okay, well, I'll start with answering that question. Thank you for that question, and we're so excited that you're here and representing NOVA, and for NOVA's excellent participation in the Global Solutions Challenge. We had teams all across the country, and the teams that are here as finalists are the top 3 teams from a total of over 300 students who participated in the challenge. So it was really quite an honor to make it to the finals. And with regards to expanding, we hopefully have some plans to expand to a lot more schools, many more schools in the future, including NOVA. And so stay tuned because that is hopefully coming soon. You guys want to talk about advice you'd have for
About the advice, yes. Well, like being shy is something like I used to face before a long time. I still get nervous when I'm talking in front of people, but like there is a first time for everything, so you gotta step on it and do it. And like if you had this opportunity to participate in such a program, you gotta take it because like people pay money for such things. So when you do, like even if you are shy, maybe you will get used to it with time and get to meet new people that will even strengthen your weakness points. So it's gonna be like you are taking a training in live courses when you participate to such a program. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I do think that, yeah, you said great things, Farhan. I would also just add that in this particular program, I think that a lot of good direction was taken by the leaders, the directors, to help those shyer, quieter students participate by delegating tasks. A lot of this program was about all the different positions and utilizing all of the different positions and playing on those students' strengths.
Great, thank you. Okay, final question. No pressure.
Oh, okay, perfect. So my question would be, what strategies did your teams develop to combat that initial, cultural differences as well as communication barriers?
Do you mind repeating, please?
Sure, yeah. So what strategies did your teams develop in order to combat that initial cultural differences as well as communication barriers?
We used both synchronous and asynchronous communication, and some of the strategies that we developed, and IREX was helpful in doing this, is having scheduled Skype sessions and knowing and accepting that not all students could be there to participate, but having a note taker or a journalist record what was happening so that everyone can be up to date and stay in contact. And then really we just made sure that we were communicating on multiple platforms. So we used a lot of Facebook, and we would post updates onto our Facebook page of how the prototype is coming, where the business plan's at, fun things that we're doing even. And then we communicated via WhatsApp a lot as well.
One of you want to answer as well?
Well, she almost said like everything. Yeah. So nothing to add. Yes.
Great. So I think we actually have one more question. Remy, did you have a question?
I was trying to give that speaker.
Oh, okay. Trying to be helpful with the microphone. Okay. Well, thank you everyone for being here today. And so our next steps, we're going to be having a networking reception. And so we encourage everyone to stick around and mingle and get to know some of the students, and for students to take the opportunity to meet some great professionals from DC. And then we're going to be coming back for the announcement of the finalists. Ashley, am I forgetting anything?
Oh no, thank you. Lunch is outside, so please do enjoy lunch, and we'll call everybody back in
Yeah.
in the next 30 minutes.
And let's give a big round of applause for our student panelists.
Thank you.
Well, and then the phone requires you to put in your rules and then password. If you change it, sometimes it doesn't recognize it. It ends up with black gray screen. Nothingness. Oh well. Check it out later. Like this is the one that I do. Is asking for my actual password.
All right, I hope everybody enjoyed their lunch. All right, we're about to get started again. And before we make the announcement of the results, we're first going to hear from our judges as they provide feedback for each of the teams. So I'd like to invite each of you judges up to the front. Thank you very much. And if we could please go in the order of the presentations, we'll start with Agents of Change, please.
All right. I'm Greg Gershini. I run the Energy and Environment program here at Aspen. Before I get into the Agents of Change, I just want to say how awesome this has been. We get to work with a lot of different people in energy, environment, climate change space, and seeing kind of great ideas that are thrown out into the world that are implementable it's really exciting for me. So the Agents of Change, I think what we're going to do is kind of, I'll give a couple of good points, a couple of places to improve, and then kind of pass the mic down. So I think the solution I think this could have a huge impact. It's mobile, it's adjustable. You can kind of take data and figure out where it's being utilized and move the devices around as needed. It's very, like I said, it's very portable. I think the group had really good coordination and a very good presentation. I think the prototype probably could have used a little bit better explanation during the presentation and then talk more about the environmental impact and the process of the waste and where that's going to go, and how that kind of ways to keep that out of fish and whales and things like that, like you talked about in the beginning of the presentation. So I think overall it was really good.
My only comment for Agents of Change is I really like the coordination of the folks, especially on the stage, but all across the room. I thought it was, participants were speaking equally, showing a lot of respect and deference for each other, and I think that's a very high-level goal of this program, so I enjoyed that part.
And I'll just add that I think this team had a very strong opening. They got everyone engaged. There were some good questions to kind of get the audience enrolled and paying attention right away, so that was a strong start.
Excellent.
I'm going to comment a little bit on the Rangers and the Greywater project. We really enjoyed this one as well. I felt like it was very well researched, and a lot was done by the whole team to come up with details to support your concept. One thing I would mention about myself, I first of all didn't say my name. I'm Jane Meacham, and my background is in business journalism, and I work now with clients on sustainability reports and sustainable investing and wealth management, financial services topics. And I have worked with IREX on a couple of educational sustainability programs. I, as a volunteer, work with a nonprofit called Mentor Capital Network that some of you might want to look into. They encourage social entrepreneurs from around the world to provide business plans for-profit enterprises that would make a better impact in our world in different ways. This reminded me a lot of that today, and so I mention it because the Rangers business plan, haven't had a whole lot of time to look at it yet, but it's very mature and well-developed and looks very competitive with things that I've seen judged through Mentor Capital Network for 5 or 6 years, so I wanted to explain my background on that. It seemed as if the group worked very smoothly together, and lots of results from your collaboration were shared. And again, I think that goes to the heart of one of the goals of this program today. On the side where some improvement could be found, the three of us were a little confused and felt like the trolley concept was a little more problematic. Maybe not thought out quite as much as the larger wastewater recycling system. We also discussed as judges whether a water recycling system within a hotel or institution like that might already be being done, and whether there is a new angle that could be developed by this group or not. And those are my comments. So.
Yeah, I would just add, I think finding incentives for existing locations to retrofit with this new system is a difficult problem, but also an important one, because there's so many hotels and other places that use so much water already in existence that not only just the new hotels, but also figuring out how to incentivize those retrofits.
And I really liked just the fact that this team really did their homework and had a lot of great data, but specifically speaking to not just the end users, but the folks at the hotel, and really getting their perspective on what's going to work and what's not, I think was a critical piece of that. So that was very impressive. All right, and I'm taking on team 3. We really were happy to see that job creation was mentioned as part of the ROI, because that's an important from a business planning perspective. This group really had a very strong close and was very enthusiastic and kind of wrapped up the presentation in a way that kind of left us excited about the idea. And I understand that there were some technical difficulties, so that is actually an interesting real-world example of that happens in life. You got to roll with it, and the team really did a great job of kind of not missing a beat. We're just going to work with what we've got, so that frustrating, I'm sure, but also impressive that you're able to kind of keep it going. The marketing plan, we thought could have been a little bit more fleshed out, particularly around this concept of why would people come to visit. So we would have liked to see a little bit more detail on that, and about sort of the problem statement. That seemed like an area where there was room for improvement. And along the same line, the video, as we heard, was maybe perhaps not the one that was intended to be shown, but it didn't add, it actually was a little bit confusing. So again, sort of making sure that your supporting information and details really are supporting and not just gratuitous is something to keep in mind.
We discussed with the green vacation location idea that there's a huge potential market of young and not so young eco-travelers out there who would like staying in homes. It's already been demonstrated well by Airbnb and others, and that seemed like a big plus.
Yeah, I think just to add on top of that, it's scalable and it's replicable, and so I think that it's not just the 2 locations talked about, but it could be anywhere in the world, and so the growth potential is pretty huge. So I think.
Well, thank you so much for your comments. Let's give the judges a round of applause.
That was a lot of information you guys gave us to process. So we were really impressed overall. Very, very well presented and very well thought out. So thanks for making us work so hard.
Thank you very much. So the judges spent a lot of time making sure they placed the proper value on your presentations because of all the hard work that you put into them. And so thank you again to all the teams, and thank you to the judges for honoring all of your efforts. So at this time, we're going to remove the chairs, and we're going to make the announcements of the results. We're going to invite by name one of the judges up to help present the awards. And then we're going to transition into an announcement from the Department of State's Alumni Affairs, and we're going to introduce Crystal Hill and Matthew Bickoff up afterwards as well to talk about what next. All right, so to announce 3rd place, may I please invite Jane Meacham up to the stage. And Sarah, could you help with that?
Oh, and we want the 2 directors.
Okay, great. Once we make the announcement, we'd like the 2 co-directors to come up the stage to accept the awards. Jane, could you please? So in order to just really stress how big of an accomplishment all of you have had and just even being here, is that you are representing about 35 students of 315 participating students in a very competitive innovation competition. The work that you've done is commendable, and you even heard from our panel of experts that are representing corporate sustainability, Marriott and hospitality, and the Aspen Institute about the high rigor of the innovations that you put forward today. So congratulations to all of you today. Now, to get started, I would like to announce third place, Triple R. Please come to the stage, members of Kirkwood Community College. Oh, the student directors, yeah, Kirkwood Community College, as well as Luminous Technology University College. Thank you, Jenny.
All right, so we're very excited about our glass statues, that there's one glass statue for each institution, and all of the students will be getting a certificate with their names on them after not today, but we have to, print them. So, so you'll be getting them in the coming weeks. But we encourage you to show your award at your institution. Okay, and then second place, I'd like to invite Greg Gershoni up. Okay. Could you see at the center? And congratulations, second place, Agents of Change. Congratulations to Lord Fairfax Community College and Khwarizmi. And finally, I'd like to invite Sonia Zamborski up to the stage to present our first place winners. And congratulations to our first place team, the Rangers. Congratulations to Luminous Technical University and Kirkwood Community College. All right, congratulations, everyone. Big round of applause. I'm going to make you keep clapping forever. All right, and now you might be thinking, well, what do we do from here? And you're like, I just want to go to sleep. Well, there's more that you can do from here, and the State Department has a number of exciting programs for you to continue to grow and build and learn and have these cross-cultural experiences. So we're going to invite up our Alumni Affairs Office from the State Department to Matt Bickoff and Crystal Hill in order to speak about alumni opportunities.
Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. So we're very happy to be here with all you today, and congratulations again for all the work you did this past year, this weekend, today. We loved listening to your presentations. And yeah, I think when you go home tomorrow or whenever it is you're leaving, back to Jordan, back to Iowa or Virginia, it's like, what do you do?
the State Department offers a lot of things for participants of exchange programs. I don't know if you know how many people participate in exchanges any year. This includes in-person exchanges and virtual ones. Does anyone have an idea? Just like a random guess. Throw out a number. $1 million a year. That
Wow.
would be crazy.
Crazy, insane. Not quite there yet.
Not quite. Anyone else? One other guess? Yeah. 50,000's not far off, yeah. We have about 55,000 people, both Americans and international exchange participants, any given year. And that builds a larger network of exchange participants and then alumni. So people who've done programs years ago and people who are just finishing programs now. And we have an office at the State Department that's dedicated to that follow-on work. So as I said, my name's Matt Bykoff, and I do outreach at our Alumni Affairs office. And Crystal is here too.
And my name is Crystal Hill. I'm actually a regional alumni coordinator. And within our office, what we do is we provide additional support, whether it's through programming or training, to all U.S. government-sponsored exchange participants. And that includes all of you in this room. So once you go home, and just know that your relationship does not stop, not only with Aspen or IREX, but with us as well. Your relationship with us continues to build, and as long as you're in contact with us, you'll have access to a ton of resources, training opportunities, further opportunities to participate in other exchange programs. Again, the Educational and Cultural Affairs Bureau, we have over 100 of programs that encompasses cultural exchanges, professional and academic exchanges. So you're a part of a network of over 1 million plus exchange alumni. And through our office, you'll not only connect with your peers, but you'll also have access to our international exchange alumni website, which connects you not only with your peers, but to the resources that we provide. Through the website, we have a grants database, which includes over $33 billion worth of grant opportunities. So take the project ideas that you have here today, and you may find additional funding opportunities through that database that does not only include government assistance, but there's also nonprofit organizations that provide grant opportunities. There's alumni peers who also work in a space where they're able to provide additional grant opportunities on a wide range of themes and topics that you may be interested in. I know all of you are not going to school for tourism and hospitality. So if you have any other ideas, you can definitely use that database to find additional resources. We also have our Alumni Engagement Innovation Fund competition, and we run this annually. This competition awards up to $25,000 to support your public service programs and initiatives. Through this opportunity, you will not be able to use the funding for for-profit businesses or products, but if you want to truly become change agents in your community, you can use that opportunity to kickstart maybe a project idea that will enhance or impact your community in a great way. So if you have some environmental or any challenges in your community that you want to address, you can take a look at that opportunity to maybe craft something that will be a gateway to help you to use that funding to make a difference in your community.
Yeah, and you'll have time to think about it. So we run this competition, the Alumni Engagement Innovation Fund. We call it AEIF annually. The competition window for this year just closed at the end of February, so you'd have time to craft a proposal and an idea for next year. You do have to work in teams of at least 3 alumni, and they don't all have to be on your same exchange program. You can meet people who did other programs. Americans in the room, you can be on an AEIF team. You just cannot be a team leader for it, but you guys are all experienced on working with people from other countries, as has been demonstrated.
Yeah.
And then we have 5 different themes. You can check on the website, which is alumni.state.gov. That's your home base, and then there's a lot of information about AEIF right there at alumni.state.gov/AEIF. You can see the different themes, you can see past winning projects and everything. Definitely recommended to take advantage of that opportunity.
Yeah, and it's a highly competitive competition, but it's very resourceful. Again, most of you should be receiving an email from Exchange Alumni just welcoming you to our alumni community. And within that email, you'll have a link that activates your account on the website. And just thinking about other resources on the site, you have opportunities to connect with your peers. We have different alumni associations in most of every, in every country that you can engage and connect with alumni. We have a section on the site that has alumni news and alumni features. So we'd love to hear more about your projects. And, once you get those projects off the ground, we'll love to kind of share with the larger community what you're doing. And then we work closely with our alumni coordinators in the field as well. So those of you who are from Jordan, you do have an alumni coordinator in Amman, and her name is Nancy Abbas, and she's a great contact to have, especially if you want to stay engaged with the embassy, if you want to meet other alumni that may be working in your field, maybe at a university, or more seasoned professionals that you may want to connect with, maybe networking or mentorship. She is the person where she can make those connections happen. And there's also an alumni association in Jordan that is a great resource for you to, again, meet more alumni peers and to stay engaged with all the other alumni.
Cool. And then for the Americans in the room, we do a lot of programming uniquely for U.S. citizens and alumni here in the States. One of the things we recently started are a series of career connection seminars in all different parts of the country where you can apply if you're looking to get start off jobs. I know you're in college now. You can hear from experts about using your exchange experience to advance your career, to find opportunities, also to expand your networks. And this summer, as part of that larger program, we'll be launching small grants for American alumni, kind of similar to AIF for international alumni, where you'll be able to, work together and do things for your communities here back home. Also on the website, there's a special tab for U.S. alumni that gives you additional resources and information about these programs. So definitely check all that out.
Yes. We can probably go on and on about the great resources that we have, but we don't want to keep you. We want to, again, welcome you to the alumni community. Cal has a little special token of our appreciation for, having us here and hearing your great pitches. And again, we wish you all well, and congratulations again to all the teams.
Yep.
Well, wonderful. So that concludes the Global Solutions Summit. Let's give another round of applause to all of our participants. Thank you. So at this time, we're going to ask that all Jordanian participants please remain in the room, and everyone else, we release you. The U.S. students, if you could stay nearby. And judges, thank you. Thank you very much.